This is Zero Hedge. Now I was a finance undergrad, econ undergrad. Zero Hedge has been a long standby of that space. Now IBM plunges after Anthropic's latest update takes on COBOL. So there's a blog post on the Claude blog. Here, I'll pull this up right here. Sharing this tab. How AI helps break down the cost barrier to COBOL modernization. So Anthropic puts out this blog, and one of IBM's big money makers is mainframe services and all the consulting around that. So apparently this blog post comes out, IBM stocks go down, other of these big iron stocks go down. Here's what they're showing in the graph here. IBM stock went down 20% based on this Claude Automate COBOL modernization tool. And this Tyler Durden, not his real name, obviously, that's the Fight Club guy, but he's kind of hypothesizing that maybe these AI people can short stocks that they know that they're about to disrupt. It seems a bit too cynical for me, but who knows? I don't know. What do you think about this? Just overall.
I have seen that Anthropic has a huge mind share, and anything that they say or publish will move markets. And OpenAI too, to some degree. When OpenAI launched, I forget what it's even called now, Operator, right? Whatever happened to that? Like, people thought it was going to change the world. And it's like, okay, browser use is an open source project, came out before it, is free, and is better. That nobody made a big deal about that. And so similar thing with Anthropic. When Anthropic does something, everybody makes a huge deal about it, not necessarily because of the technical details of it, but because it's Anthropic doing it. I think it's also not on the list, but is absolutely the same take on this is they announced Claude security, right? Where they have this security scanner that will identify things that traditional tools won't, they're like static analysis tools or whatever, and they'll suggest fixes and maybe have some UX, but it's nothing like revolutionary. But it wiped I think $2 billion of market cap in security sector, especially for CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, what's going on here? Somebody asked, I remember seeing some discussion thread, like, how is this different than like a skill.md or prompting, scan for security issues, And the interesting response was, well, one requires you to type in a sentence and the other is a marketing press release. Choose your weapon.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Nobody's using this. Nobody's reporting benchmarks, reporting the amazing results that they've had. No, it's just a press release. Just a press release wiped $2 billion of market cap. So my main point of view here is market overreacts on Anthropic press releases. Regarding this thing in particular on a technical level, recently, actually, speaking of open hands again, there was a seminar that they put on migrating COBOL to Java. And I sent along to someone I know that is a specialist in COBOL, and there are very few people know COBOL, but apparently it's big in the banking industry in certain sectors, like this dinosaur language, right? And so, yay, I'm glad the things are getting modernized. Like, I don't want the situation of, I don't know how old the software that runs on our planes is, but I don't like the idea of 30-year-old software. So I am all for modernizing and getting away from vendor lock-in and ancient dinosaur, stacks. I think this is easy to do with today's stack. I think Karpathy posted recently about how it's very easy to translate from one language to another because the implementation is kind of a perfect spec. And so migrating something from one language to another is, I think it's going to be a no-brainer. And it's not something specific to Claude. It's something that is inherent in modern LLMs.
Well, and I think what will end up happening is you realize that, especially for these old code bases, there's a lot of, they say, the people who are experts in this and who've been doing this for a long time, they still have a ton of value to add. And so I think that you're right, like with the Anthropic mind share being so disproportionate, they can say, oh, we're looking this direction now. But we all have access to Claude, and there's going to be able to layer consulting services on top of Claude, right? If you've never, ever touched COBOL before, sure, you can make an awesome test suite, and maybe that's enough. I don't think it would all of a sudden like make all of these other companies irrelevant. And then, like we were saying, I think we said many times in the show, like you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket here. This was when I was at the, I took a picture. This is a picture of a screen where we did a survey at the AI Tinkerers meetup. And it's which model do you reach for most? And 80% was Claude. This was me, the one open source person. And I still reach for Claude a lot. I think I said I made a splash at accounting department with how much I've been using Claude with Gastown. But that's beside the point. The point is you don't want to just know one. You want to be familiar with all of them. So the final thoughts on this one, I think, what do we short these type of announcements? Or, do you buy the IBM dip?
Nah. I mean, some of them are maybe just realizing that the traditional moats are eroding. And so some of these may be long overdue corrections. And some of them may be overreactions just based on hype, disproportionate to the actual impact. And as far as like how to tell which of the two or what relative weight to give each of those perspectives, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis.
What did you think about that clip? I hope it was useful. Check out the link in the description for the full episode. And we have new episodes coming out every single week, sometimes several times a week, about the latest AI news. We're doing a deep dive into OpenClaw soon. Check out our Substack. Follow us on all the different social media programs. Ask us questions. And check out our Discord, where we have lots of good AI chat discussions. Links are all in the description. See you next time.